I always get nostalgic at this time of year when the kids go back to school. I really miss that starting a new grade and learning so many things.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like learning new things, but I am glad that my days of learning the 3 R's are over.
All right, fair enough. But what if your school had clowns, tightropes, and acrobatics?
Now that's a type of school I can get excited about.
Then you might be ready for Circus School. Halifax's Laura Bain wanted to give it a try, and well, here's what happened.
I've been hearing a lot lately about people joining Circus School, not because they're looking for a career change, but as a way to get fit and have fun. That sounded great to me, so I met up with Mike Hirschbach, director of Halifax Circus, which offers training, performance, and social programs. Mike suggests we start with a classic, the tightrope.
So it's kind of a scary looking apparatus, or I should say it's an unlikely looking apparatus. People always say, there's no way that I could do it, but within 10 minutes they're walking on the tightrope.
I discovered the tightrope isn't actually a rope, but rather a thick steel cable suspended between two low platforms.
First of all, you're going to be holding on to me the whole time.
Okay, holding onto your fist?
You're going to be holding on to my fist just like this. If you don't feel the tightrope underneath your toes, don't put your full weight down.
Okay, sure.
This isn't a race. We're just taking our time and experiencing what it's like to walk across.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't you take my hand?
All right, here we go. With a reassuring hold on Mike's fist, I take my first tentative steps off, and I'm surprised it doesn't feel as tricky as I thought.
And you're doing this really well. As you're walking across, your back foot comes forward, and it comes quite close to your foot. You don't want your foot to swing way out. Excellent. You're taking your time.
Definitely need to take my time.
That's right.
Walking on the tightrope requires walking toe to heel rather than heel to toe.
You go slow. You feel this, and you're one step away from the end.
And with that, I take my last step onto the platform.
There you are.
All right, that wasn't so bad.
I know.
Hands are a little sweaty. Sorry about that.
That's the way everybody starts off.
Sweaty palms aside, I'm feeling pretty good about my first trip across. But Mike has another trick up his sleeve.
So now ready for part 2.
Okay, I'm excited and a little bit nervous to find out what that is.
What you do this time is you're going to fall off the tightrope.
Okay.
I know.
That's actually a little more nerve-wracking than staying on it.
This time, I get halfway across and jump, rather than step gracefully to the ground. We give it another shot.
There you are. So one more step and then just step off to your right. That is falling off the tightrope.
I'm excited to try it a few more times before I go. I thought I would find the tightrope so difficult since, like a lot of people with vision loss, I struggle with balance. But I was surprised at how easy it was, with my toes feeling the rope in front of me as I walked. Mike says circus work is great for helping students like me move past our own perceived barriers.
Every single person who walks in here feels that they have a limitation. When you do something that you thought was impossible, is that a door opens. And all of a sudden, you can no longer say to yourself, I can't do this. What you can say from that point on is, I can't do this yet. And that changes everything.
There's so much to try at Circus School, from acrobatics to aerials. I know I'll be back for a little more fun.
Okay, that sounded like something I'd really like to try. Laura did an incredible job.
She really did. And I can totally relate to what she was saying about how you can struggle with balance when you have a vision impairment. I understand that she was pleasantly surprised at how well her tightrope lesson went.
Actually, as Mike said in the piece, we've all have perceived limitations, and that's regardless of whether we have a disability. Circus School seems like a good place to experiment with pushing those limits.
Yes, and not to mention having a ton of fun as well. If those of you at home are interested in trying Circus School, there's probably one in the area near you. It's becoming very popular.
And for those of you who are in and around Halifax that want to check out Halifax Circus and to learn more about their classes, you can go to halifaxcircus.com.